Because
Hey everyone, I am here with Amanda, the traveling realtor. Hey Amanda, how are you?
hi, doing fantastic, Jennifer.
Good, thanks for being on. So, just as a point of introduction, you started your team and your business in North Carolina. Now you're living in Mexico, growing a group there. That's really exciting. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it's not bad, I guess.
No, it's a pretty good life. And I mean, I met you because you were doing a training on passive income. So that's what I'd like to talk to you about today. You're like my idol for passive income. I want to be like you, and you do a lot of trainings for it. So can you give us like a brief synopsis of the training and kind of the mindset around passive income and creating this life?
Yeah, definitely. So I've always been big into real estate investing, and
Mhm.
I thought that I had to have long-term rental properties to create passive income. I thought that
Mhm.
was like the only way, right?
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
not. There's other ways.
right.
So yeah, we started out that route. We got up to 15 or 16 long-term rental properties. And then we ended up finding our real estate brokerage, of course. And we were
Yeah.
like, oh, ding, ding, ding. We can actually create another stream of residual income.
Mhm.
And then shortly after that, when my dad got sick, we ended up putting our personal house onto Airbnb. And then that got us into the short-term rental game, which we were in for years. And then COVID hit,
Right.
and now we're in the midterm rental game, which is 30, 60, 90-day stays. And we've tweaked that to work really, really well with generating relocation client leads.
That's a great idea. So or people that are building too, I imagine, right?
Either, yeah, exactly. So your clients are going to want to work with you because you're going to provide a solution for them,
Right.
right? You know,
Right. I
yeah.
love it. So in the class, you teach people like how to do this.
I do. Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of different stuff going on. The first one I have is it's just a training on passive income. So I talk about all three. I actually stack each of them up: the long-term rentals, the short-term rentals, and the revenue profit share and the midterm rental. I stack all that up so you can see like how much do you have to invest and what will be your return on that investment. And so it's a really good class. We have the link here, but it's mypassivelife.com/video. And you can see that. I also teach a class only on Airbnb and midterm rentals.
Mhm.
And so that's a really good class too. If you're interested, let me know. But
Yeah, just reach out to you and we'll get to your contact information after. But let's go back to just like the passive income. So, what do you I've noticed that a lot of us real estate agents, like we love helping people. But the problem is that it just feels like it never ends. Like you're helping them and then you have no clients. And then if you want money, you've got to like find more clients and it just like never ends. So what is the mindset shift that you help people with to switch to like creating passive income?
yeah, so you really have to think about everything that you're doing in life.
Hmm.
What can I do one time that's going to pay me again and again and again?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you're going to set up this Airbnb and you're never going to put hands back on it again. You
Right.
are.
Right.
Now, when you get into midterm rentals, which are 30-day stays, 60-day stays,
Hmm.
it's a lot less hands on.
Hmm.
But the mind shift around that is really, I mean, it's what can you do to create multiple streams of income?
Hmm.
And that's going to pay you again and again and again. So it's an asset, right? You're
Yeah.
always looking for assets. You're looking for things that's going to pay you
Hmm.
versus a liability. Those things are
Right.
going to take the money out of your pocket. And so it is a mindset shift. If you and your audience haven't read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, that really helps you a lot with that mindset shift on assets and liabilities.
Well, I've noticed too that like the mind shift happens when something in your life happens where it's like you can no longer do that same work. Or like in my case, it was like I just needed to leave the country. I'm a traveling realtor like you. And I just needed to leave. And it was like, okay, well, if I'm gone, I still need to work. So how do I do this? What do I do? So is there a way to like not have something dramatic happen and still be able to like have the mind shift? Or is it kind of like we're all stuck with that? We have to bump our head.
It's interesting. I think most people I've talked to who shifted over to this did have something crazy happen to them.
Yeah.
But I think really it's just a matter of, you got to find out what your why is, and I know that's like cliche, right? But it really is. It's like, what is it? The way I think about it is this: if I don't succeed, if I don't make this happen, who's going to pay for that? Like, who's going to be in pain if I didn't make that happen? For me, it was my mom. Like, if I didn't make this happen, if I didn't figure out how to create, passive income and being able to take care of certain people and things in my life, then she would not have the retirement and the life that she needed at the end, because she can't live on a $500 a month Social Security check.
No.
Like, it's me or her living in poverty.
Right.
So that was a big why for me.
That's a pretty big motivator.
Yeah. So I think, find something like that in your life that's like, if I don't succeed, then
what happens?
Exactly. Yeah. What's the consequence for that?
Mine is always like, why am I working? Like, what is the point? Like, yeah, I can wake up and like work every day, but like, for what? And wouldn't it be so much nicer if I could like create a life where I can still work if I want, which I mean, I like working, so I would still work. But also too, when you're relating with other people, you're relating with your customers, and you don't have that commission breath, or you don't have that, like, I have to get this deal, you actually will relate to them easier and be more helpful to them. Is that what you're seeing too?
Oh, 100%. It's an attraction, and it's like the travel guides. I know you booked that trip, and all of a sudden, all these people come up to you and want to buy houses, and they want to join your team, and like, it's just like crazy busy. But I think that has a lot to do with what you just said. It's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm living this life, and if you want to come join me, great. But I'm not going to chase you.
No, right.
You either want to work with me or you don't.
Exactly.
Okay.
And even if I know that there's some agents out there, especially, you're from North Carolina, I'm from Ohio, we're very like Midwest, Southern mentality, where it's like, well, this is enough. It's all good enough. Like, we shouldn't make too much money, not have like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it makes me crazy. Get your unfair share. And if you don't want to keep it, then you get to control where it goes, is the other thing.
Yes. There's something in, I think, all of us, honestly, that you do get to a point where you're comfortable, and it's a matter of how are you going to keep pushing through, because you really do, like, you want to make set amount a month, right? Well, what are you going to do to keep you in that mental that mindset, right? For me, I watch a boatload of videos on YouTube. I read. I take challenges all the time. Oh my gosh, like all of these people like Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone, like I'm always doing stuff like that because it keeps me in the game. It keeps my mindset where it needs to be. Otherwise, you just get comfortable and you're like, oh, I'm making so and so per month. Like, I don't really have to work, But the cool thing about what we do, Jennifer, is it's fun.
It is fun.
Like, people always get on me. They're like, why are you always working? I'm like, because I like it. Like, I like reaching out to people and talking to them. I'm sorry. I like what I do.
But you're also sitting in Mexico doing it, which is awesome. It makes a big difference for sure. So are you going to the Tony Robbins event in August?
I never miss an event. I have not missed an event in 4 years.
It's my first time seeing him. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be fun. But you make a good point, like surrounding yourself with people that are doing things like at a higher level than you, are doing things like where you want to be. And even if you don't want to be exactly where they are, like not everybody wants to like travel around the world, live in Mexico, do all these things. But like even if you just want a little bit of relief, like knowing some passive income strategies will help your life. Like it will not hurt. Right? Yeah. So in the class, you teach some of those strategies. And then if they want to learn more, they can like dive a little bit deeper with you. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's I just teach, I think it's about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so,
Okay.
maybe 40 minutes, and it's just the different passive income streams. But this is the question that I always ask people.
Hmm.
What if, because let's just say that someone's watching this and they're like, well, I've never had anything happen in my life where, I
Right.
could work, right?
Right.
Well, what if you did? What if you were in a car accident today and you physically were in the hospital for 6 months and you could not work? Like,
Right.
would you lose your house? Would you lose
Right.
your car?
Hmm.
What would happen financially to you in your life?
Hmm.
That's taking it to the extreme.
Hmm.
What if your loved one got sick? What if your husband, your wife, your child, your mother, your father, and you had to sit beside their hospital bed for 6 months
Right.
and not work? Could you
Right.
do that? Or would
Right.
you leave them and have to go bring a paycheck in?
Right.
That's where it gets real. And
Yeah.
that's the question I ask to every single person watching this right now. That's why I'm so passionate about passive income. I don't care where you're getting it from. Just make sure that your nut is covered. Make sure your mortgage is paid, your
Hmm.
car payment's paid, your insurance is paid. Just make sure that is paid. Everything else is icing on the cake.
Yeah, exactly. It could even be a happy thing. Like, what if you want to make a family and you want to stay with your children for like the first couple of years of their life and not have to worry about anything, or the first 6 months or whatever it is, right? Instead of a couple of weeks or a day. I mean, I know some agents that they're having babies and they're still on the phone. And you're like, you are in the hospital. Get off the damn phone, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's crazy. Well, I really appreciate you being on. So again, it's mypassivelife.com/video. What's the best way to get a hold of you though, if they have another question or they're interested in the other class?
Yeah. So what you can do, when you do that, you're going to get an email as well from me just saying, hey, thank you. And you can reply right to that email. Or I'm Amanda the Traveling Realtor on every social media outlet there is. And so I'm very easy to find.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you being on, Amanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.